All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wawakakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you true, sincere brethren out there pushing out this purified truth, cleansing this wicked, defiled kingdom with this word, and to the rest of the church who believe as well. The water to Yahweh Shai, because without him, none of this would even be possible. So before going into this video, which proves that our people are confused, our people try to be wise, but they're still bugged out and confused. But at the bottom of this page here, you notice backwards it says 144,000, which is spiritual on its own. But let's get into the video.
Bruh, you're not Japanese, my nigga.
Bro, what you mean? I'm born in Japan.
Yo, this man, mama was in the military, gave birth to him in Japan, and this nigga think he is Japanese.
That's where I'm from. I came out the vagina in Japan. That's where I'm from. Right or wrong?
Name a restaurant in Japan.
It don't matter. That's where I was born.
You got any cousins in Japan?
No.
You got family there?
No.
You're not Japanese, you're African American, bro. You're from Baltimore.
My ethnicity is African American, but I'm from Japan.
Bro, just because you're born, it don't mean you're from there.
Yes.
If you was born in the middle of the ocean, what you is? A fish?
Middle Ocean E, whatever you want to call
Man,
it.
I'm telling you, yo, your ethnicity is not. Wherever you born at, that's not where you're from, my nigga. I was born in Saudi Arabia.
Right, so that's where you're from.
No, I'm Sudanese.
Your ethnicity is Sudan, bro.
Bro, you're not Japanese, my nigga. Yup.
So, you know, man, that's the confusion that our people bring. That's the confusion that we're going through. Now, pretty much the argument is your ethnicity is not where you're born. Okay? Where you come from doesn't mean that's your ethnicity, but yet he was saying where you come from in the sense of where you was raised, that's more so your ethnicity, which is not true. Which goes to show your nationality is not based off of landmass, okay? Where you are born does not make your nationality. So Jake said he was born in Japan. So he's not Japanese, evidently, but he's born in Japan, just like we're born here in America, but we're not American. Common sense. So it's time for you, Jake, to wake your ass up, okay? But we're going to start off with Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. So our people reject knowledge. Here it is, the truth is out. And you still got these two Jake confused, bugged out. Now the Jake on the right, he was trying to make a decent point, but he was still lost. I know where he was going, but he was still, you know, finding himself among a stumbling block. But our people don't have the understanding. How they see things is, it's a little cloudy. So our people naturally want to come to the truth, but they can't. Now, to be an Israelite, evidently it's not because we were born in Israel. The reason why we're an Israelite, let's go back to Genesis 35 in verse 10. And the power said unto him, Thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel. So Jacob had his name changed to Israel. Hopefully you're following. But Israel shall be thy name, and he called his name Israel. And the power said unto him, I am the power almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins. So it was told that through Jacob, he would become a multitude. And it wouldn't just be a multitude in the sense of being in one so-called continent, but we would be a nation, and let me read it again, a nation and a company of nations. So that company of nations is going into all the Israelites who have been dispersed throughout this earth. So regardless of where you're born, if you go back to Jacob, you are an Israelite. Okay? Now, when you look at the scriptures, this has nothing to do with religion. This has nothing to do with what you people perceive as a trend. This is actually our heritage. This is actually passed down unto us from our forefathers. So let's go to the book of Sirach. This is Sirach 44. And I'll jump down to the last verse, 22. With Isaac did he establish, likewise for Abraham his father's sake, the blessing of all men, and the covenant, and made it rest upon the head of Jacob, who had his name changed to Israel. Okay. He acknowledged him in his blessing, and gave him in heritage, and divided his portions among the 12 tribes did he part them. Okay. So this heritage was passed down to the 12 tribes. When we're preaching and prophesying unto you, this is a part of our heritage. Really, it's Yahweh's heritage, but he passed down that heritage, okay, unto his people. So seeing that wherever you're born has nothing to do with your nationality is based off of the seed you come from. We come from the seed of Jacob, okay? And this heritage was given to the 12 tribes. So this is not a religion. This is a nationality thing, okay? Let's read this one again. This is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 44 and 22. With Isaac did he establish, likewise for Abraham his father's sake, the blessing of all men, and the covenant, and made it rest upon the head of Jacob. He acknowledged him in his blessing, and gave him an heritage, and divided his portions among the 12 tribes did he part them. Okay, so each of the tribes have their portion, but all of us were given these laws, statutes, and commandments as a part of our heritage. So this thing is bigger than where you're born. That's why when you go to which I'll get it, this is the book of James 1 and 1. James, a servant of the power and of the Lord Yahushua Mashiach, who the world will call Jesus Christ today, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. So that heritage was passed down to the 12 tribes. The 12 tribes have been scattered. Now, one of these brothers in this video, he was born in Japan. He may have been raised here in Babylon, but he was born in Japan. But a simpleton will tell you, well, since you're born here, you're an American. Since you're born there, you're European, or whatever the case may be. It doesn't make sense. When you start to examine and analyze things, you can clearly see the confusion that Esau has spread to our people. Okay, so the 12 tribes have been scattered throughout the whole entire earth. James, a servant of the power and of the Lord, Yahushua Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. And where do the 12 tribes come from? A man named Jacob. Now, when you look at our people, Israel, it's more about the nationality more than the land of Israel. And a good way of knowing that is going to the scriptures. So this is the book of 2 Maccabees 5 and 19. Nevertheless, the power did not choose the people for the place's sake, but the place for the people's sake. So this is about your nationality, not where you're born. Israel was a man whose name was first Jacob, before the landmass was known as Israel today. Okay? It was a man first. And everyone who comes from that man's loins are Israelites. But guess what? It's not about being an Israelite according to your mother's line. You have to be an Israelite through your father. So to put it in a more scientific term, I guess, we are Israelites through agnate relation. Now, when you look up the word agnate, it's pretty much being related through your father's line. So through our father's line, through agnate relation, we are Israelites, not based off of landmass or where you're born. Okay? Just like if you have a Chinese man who was raised in Mexico, he's not a Chinese Mexican. Okay? Nor is he Mexican. He's still, as you will call, Chinese in the eyes of this world, but even more so, he would be called Moab. Okay? 2 Maccabees 5:19. Nevertheless, the power did not choose the people for the place's sake, but the place for the people's sake. So as I've stated, we are Israelites through agnate relation. Okay? Now, knowing that we're Israelites based off agnate relation, we're not how can I put this? Seeing that we're Israelites through agnate relation, we're not supposed to be focused on, genealogy. How do I know I'm an Israelite? It's all spiritual. If you were calling yourself an African American, more than likely you from Judah. If you've always considered your dad to be a Mexican, then you're Issachar. If you considered your dad to be a Cuban, you're Manasseh. If you consider your dad to be a Jamaican, then you're a Benjamite through the Spirit. We don't make it difficult. These things are actually quite easy to understand, but our people like to complicate things. That's just what our people do, because they hear the truth and in their mind it's like, that's too simple. That's not enough for me. Okay? So we're Israelites based off of the father's line, not through uterine, I think is the word, uterine relation, which uterine is pretty much to be born or to come from your mother's line. Okay? This is more of your father's line. So we're Israelites how? Because we come from a man named Jacob. Okay? So the people were created, and then the place was created for the people's sake. Alright? Now I want to jump to Psalms. This is Psalm 78 and 5. For he established a testimony in Jacob. Remember what I read in Genesis, how Jacob had his name changed to Israel. So anytime you hear the name Jacob, it's talking about Israel. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers. So there you go. He commanded our fathers. So through agnate relation, all right, through the line of our fathers, through agnate relation, which agnate is how you would spell that word if you don't know. So through agnate relation, through our fathers, okay, that they should make them known to their children. So this is a nationality. Based off of where you're born or where you're raised doesn't matter. That's not what makes you an Israelite. You're an Israelite based off of the seed line, okay? That's why it says here again, for he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children. Why would they make it known to their children? Because it's about relation. This is about your people. The Israelites are a people. It's a nationality. It doesn't matter where you're born. Just because we're not born in Israel, does that mean we're not the Israelites? Okay? The people are far more important than the place. The place was only created for the people, man. Okay? Psalm 78 and 6. That the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children. So why would you declare this to your children? Because you're an Israelite through agnate relation. This is a bloodline. Okay? You're not an Israelite because it's spiritual. You're not an Israelite because you're born in Israel. You're an Israelite because you go back to a man named Jacob. So I hope it's simple to understand. All right? So let's go to 1 Chronicles 16. This is 1 Chronicles 16, and I'll start at 13. O ye seed of Israel, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen ones. And how are we Israelites? Because we come from the seed of Israel, not because we're born in Israel. So just like this Jake was explaining, you're not Japanese because you was born in Japan. Okay? Although he was going off on some things, he said, a couple of things that made sense, but he was still just totally confused himself. Okay? Just like if you were born on the moon, does that make you a Moonite? All right? If you were born on an airplane in the middle of the sky that was, hovering over the ocean, does that make you an airplaneite? So just like you being born in America doesn't make you an American. You're just a citizen. Being born in Africa doesn't make you an African. It just makes you a citizen. All right? Just like when the Israelites were enslaved in Egypt, you don't think certain Israelites were born in Egypt? The scriptures tell you how there's going to be Israelites that come out of Egypt. Does that make them Egyptian? No. Okay? 1 Chronicles 16 and 13 again. O ye seed of Israel, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen ones. He is the Lord our power, his judgments are in all the earth. Be ye mindful always of his covenant, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations. Okay? So even in this generation, we are to take heed to the ways of our forefathers. If you're a Negro, Latino, or Native American, based off of agnate relation, then you are an Israelite. Okay? Let's see, do I want to close it there? You know what? I'll start at or not start, but I'll jump to the book of Titus. Three and 9. But avoid foolish questions and genealogies, and contentions and strivings about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain. So don't be trying to figure out who you are through trying to get your records checked by Esau. Because even when you go to Esau for your genealogy, you can only go back so many years before it's cut off. So you're not going to get the truth anyway. Okay? And it's so bugged out to where if someone tells you that you go back to Europe, if you're unlearned, you automatically assume that means you're white. Well, no, you just had some of your foreparents who lived in Europe. They weren't necessarily Caucasian, or they weren't necessarily Samoan, but they were dwelling in that land. So your genealogy can lead you back somewhere and have you totally confused. Have you thinking something else because you're being carnal about it. This is about the Spirit. The Spirit tells you who the Lord's people are. Okay? Let's go back to this verse. But avoid foolish questions and genealogies. So how do you know you're an Israelite? How do you know you from Judah? Come on. Things like that are being carnal. You can't go to Esau and really trace your genealogy. The only way you're going to know your genealogy is through the Spirit. That's how the Lord set it up. You want the answers? You have to be spiritual about things. The answers are given. Okay? And contentions, because really that causes contention. Prove to me you an Israelite right now. You say you from Judah, prove it. That's causing contention. Unrighteous contention. And strivings about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain. So how do we know we're Israelites? This is Romans 2:14. For when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law. So Israelites naturally do certain things that prove that they Israelites. You have Israelites out there who are totally unlearned, who have no idea about, following the law, statutes, and commandments. But there's things that they do that naturally follow the law, statutes, and commandments that show that they're Israelites. Okay? Do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves. So our people, not even having the law, just how they move, how their spirit is, shows that they are Israelites. Okay, outside of the proof of scientific evidence, man. You literally have Esau bringing out scientific biblical evidence all the time. Just like just not too long ago, they said the city of David was found, showing that the Bible is accurate. Come on, we been knew the Bible was accurate. We didn't need no carnal proof to show it, but that's how Esau works, and that's how a lot of you people are, because you are of your father the devil. You want to ask somebody, how do you know we the Israelites? There ain't no proof. Well, that's being carnal. Okay, we do things naturally that the Israelites did because we are the Israelites. Even before we came to this truth, we did things naturally. All right. Let's close it out with Galatians 4:26. And for the record, no, Judah, you are not an African American. All right, that makes no sense. Galatians 4:26. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. So Jerusalem is the mother of all the Israelites. So no matter where you're born, you are an Israelite, and Israel is your land. It doesn't matter where you were raised. It don't matter if you was raised in the hardest projects. It don't matter if you was raised in South Korea. All right? If you go back to the line of Jacob through agnate relation, you are indeed an Israelite. Don't let no one tell you different. Okay? Africa's not the motherland, but Israel is the motherland. All right? But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all. So Jerusalem is the motherland. We are not African. We are not Americans. We are not Mexicans. All right? We are not all of these bywords that Esau has given us, man. So you have to turn back to your biblical nationality. The Lord isn't calling on heathens. Okay? He's looking for Naphtali. He's looking for Asher. He's looking for Zebulun. He's looking for Benjamin, Judah. He's looking for Simeon, and so on, man. He's not looking for African Americans. He's not looking for Haitians. He's not looking for Dominicans. He's not looking for Colombians. He's not looking for no Seminole Indians. Okay, he's not looking for no Argentinians. He's not looking for Coons, La Coons. Okay, he's looking for Israelites. So, Lord willing, this lesson was simple and edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Kahala Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.